Bill Gates always said that if you're the smartest person in the room, leave that room. Be in a room where you can learn other things.
There is scope of growth.
Absolutely. And being a sports person, you don't stop. I mean, Virat Kohli doesn't hit a 4 and says, "Dekha, maine kitna acha chauka मारा." Yeah, सब लोग photo लो ना मेरी. He doesn't do that. He said, "अभी तो मुझे और रन बनाने हैं, 100 और बनाने हैं. Let me help my team win the game."
And after that, they have to perform in another.
Absolutely. Next day you're back to zero again. You know, here what I've learned in life, is we spend our lives worrying about what other people think of us.
Hi everyone, this is Devina, welcoming you all to another super exciting episode of Icons Behind Brands. Join us on Icons Behind Brand as we delve into the remarkable journey of a leader with over 3 decades of experience in consumer products, natural goods and retail, with a track record spanning diverse industries and global location. Our guest has navigated the complexities of startup ventures and established businesses in this ever-changing market. From food and beverage to durable goods, natural products, and in the world of Alco-Bev, collaborated with international giants and regional players. Formerly the Chief Marketing Officer of United Breweries Limited, our guest now brings their expertise as an independent consultant, startup mentor, thought leader, and a sought-after speaker. Welcoming Mr. Samar Singh Shekhawat on Icons Behind Brand. A warm welcome to you, Mr. Samar. How did working with Mr. Vijay Mallya shape your leadership style and approaches to business?
So, see, Vijay Mallya he interviewed me. My final interview was with him. And he's larger than life. In my entire life, I've met only 2 personalities. When they walk into a room, even if you've not seen them, there's like a change in the electricity of the room. It's like, you know, something has happened. There's a vibe that changes. People will stand up, some of them will whispering, pushing, nudging each other, etc. You haven't seen him as yet, but he's in the room and there's the electricity of the room changes. The only other person I've seen who this happens with is Indira Gandhi. So I met her once, and she was walking in. I'll tell you the context later. But she was walking in. My uncle was in the Navy. He was chief of naval staff, and he was big. I mean, before he became chief, he was being given a gallantry award. So we were at Rashtrapati Bhavan, and my father had gone. My father is his younger brother, and I was there, and a couple of my cousins. And Indira Gandhi, we were 500 people, and Zahir Singh was the president, and Indira Gandhi walked in from behind the room. We hadn't seen her. The entire room stood up, and it was like electricity in the room. And then I saw her walk past. She was as far as you. Really quickly, wearing blue sarees, blue sandals, and a pearl choker. But so Vijay Mallya was like that. So he was larger than life, and you have to get over his personality and treat him like a normal human being. And he really likes that because 99% of people who deal with him don't treat him like that. They treat him like God. And I was very different. I'm not impressed with him. So I treated him like a human, like a boss, and he loved it. And he would listen a lot to me. So Vijay Mallya, the public narrative about him is very inaccurate. Did he make mistakes? Absolutely. Was there any malintent? I don't think so. And in any case, he's paid back the entire principal amount that was owed. I'm not going to defend what he did. Very clearly, he made mistakes. He was badly advised, but he also took that bad advice. One of the things that you will learn, Devina, as you grow older and more successful in your business, people will come and give you all sorts of advice, good and bad. It is up to you whether you would like to take that advice or not. You can listen to people and then do exactly what you want. Extremely hardworking man, unbelievable memory. If he meets you once, he will remember where you met, what you were wearing, what was the discussion, and what were the next steps. Incredible memory.
And he meets so many people.
Amazing memory, absolutely. I mean, he will remember election, excise laws, Maharashtra State clause number 2.1.4. He will remember the excise minister's name and mobile number. He will remember the daughter's name. He will remember the daughter's birthday. It's an incredible memory. One of the greatest things I learned from him, Devlina, he never multitasks. Never in my life have I seen him multitask. He will only do one thing at a time. And he will concentrate fully on that one thing, and then he'll move to the next, and then the next, which is very difficult to do because there's always the tendency कि ये भी कर लो, वो भी कर लो. You also come and say, let me do that. In the meantime, you're taking a phone call. So very they're very generous, extremely large-hearted, not a small man, very large-hearted, great leader, not such a great manager. Because to be a manager, you have to do chalani kar. You have to think of every 25 minutes. So he was not a great manager, but he's a tremendous leader. In terms of inspiring his team, in terms of setting a vision, in terms of giving you the freedom to work, there's no one. I have no hesitation in saying that he is the greatest boss that I've ever had. Amazing people skills. In my interview, the last question he asked me, which I think the answer I gave is what decided the position in my favor. He asked me, he said, you've worked with so many different companies. He said, you work with Believers, you work with PepsiCo. Why do you want to work for me? But sir, I see a lot of very good people who have been working with you for many, many decades. You must be doing something right. And he said, yes, I'm very blessed to have a lot of good people. So I think that was the decision, that was the answer that got me the job. And thereafter, in another lifetime, I could have been a friend of mine. And we had such common interests, we talk about shooting and film and sports and all sorts of things.
So let's understand this market again, the market where you have spent a lot of time. Can you describe your initial hurdles and perceptions you encountered when you tasked with promoting Kingfisher in a company like India where alcohol is still considered as taboo? So how did you approach these challenges?
So I'll tell you a very funny story. We were sitting in a board meeting and Kiran Majumdar Shaw, who is the founder of the Helcon, she is a board member. And she's a trained brewmaster. And her father used to work for Vittel. She's a very close friend of Vijay Mallya. So she told Vijay Mallya in a board meeting, she said, Mr. Mallya, what kind of a marketing head have you hired? He doesn't even drink beer. So Mr. Mallya looked at me and said, is that right? You don't drink beer? So I said, yes, I do. He said, that's all right. Your job is not to drink. Your job is to get others to drink. And I think I can do that. So I think that was the first coconut that I had to break. Everyone in my family drinks by then. My wife, father, mother, daughter, sister, brother, everyone. I'm the only one who doesn't drink. But I think the fact that I've worked in beverages all my life, because I've sold tea, I've sold coffee, I've sold juices, energy drinks, water, all sorts of, and now beers, wine, spirits, and I've literally spent 2/3 of my professional life selling some kind of beverage. And I have 2-3 very interesting stories. If your audience is interested in me. So we were in London. I used to go to London. We had a label design company in central London. And we would have a lot of meetings there with the chief Kingfisher. And the company is owned by a friend of his who is some Dutch nobility and order of the Chevalier. Vijay Mallya ke bahut sare aise. So in the middle, he and this gentleman is Sir Michael Francis Classens. Sir Michael Francis. So Sir Michael and Vijay Mallya are talking and they're discussing a shooting trip in Corsica. And I'm listening. So, and Vijay Mallya is a very good shot with a rifle. But with a shotgun, he's not so good. So I was listening. So I asked him, I said, boss, are you closing one eye and shooting, or keeping one eye open? So he looks at me, he said, I close my eyes, so you're making a mistake. With a shotgun, you have to keep both your eyes open. So he looks at me like this, And he looks at Sir Michael Francis and says, what does he say? He says, absolutely right. They tell me, sir, how do you know? I said, boss, I grew up in the tea garden and I showed about to shoot with a shotgun and we were talking for the next half an hour about the brands of guns that you own and stuff. So, and my other colleagues are sitting in the room and they have no clue what we're discussing. So I keep saying that in another lifetime, people have been a friend of mine. One very funny story. I was in the gym, so I woke up in the gym every day. And 6 to 8, even Vijay Mallya doesn't call me, didn't call me because he was the summer selection. So, and my phone is not with me. I don't take selfies in the gym, I don't do all that stuff. So I put my phone away, and I finish my workout and I see 2 missed calls from Vijay Mallya. I said, kya hua hai? So I called him back, his phone is switched off. So I called the secretary, he said, yeah, he's flying in to from somewhere. So I said, okay. So I sent him a message saying, sorry, boss, missed your call. I was in the gym, please call me when I leave. I go home, I have my bath, change, and go to sleep. Now, no, I used to put my phone on silent at night. Now that my parents are old, I don't put my phone on silent. I lost my father. I keep my phone on just in case something happens to my mother at night. I have phone on silent, I wake up in the morning, I see another 2 missed calls from me. I said, yeah, I'm not greedy. Come and see me immediately when you come into office. So like, now I've been in the company 3-4 years and I said, I'm going to get sacked. He's called me 4 times and I'm not answered the phone. So I reach the office and I go early and I find that he's already there. So I ask the secretary, he's looking for you, where are you? And like my heart is beating and I've got I'm so sorry, just come here. And I go there and he turns around like this and he said, you know, I hurt my knee in the gym and can you recommend some exercises? And I said, you know what, it's so funny that he called me from London twice, he called me from his Bangalore house to check on how, like, what exercises I could tell him for him. So, you know, so I have many such stories. Yeah, we're not very close, but he had this ability of, when he spoke to you, Devina, you were the most important person in the room for him when he was speaking to you. He would not look at anyone else. Nobody existed. But once that moment is passed, it's passed. Then you don't exist.
I think this is one of the biggest strengths of any leader, anybody who is extremely successful, that how you are living in that particular moment. Is that moment, is that completely that present moment, or it is like dominated by yesterday or tomorrow?
Yeah, that's a very good point. You see, the present moment is all that you have. Yesterday is gone, and tomorrow is not yet come. So there's a song also that we like, tomorrow's out of sight, yesterday is gone, and tomorrow's out of sight. The present is all you have, and everything you do today becomes a memory tomorrow. So what do you want your memories to be? You want them to be pleasant memories or unpleasant memories? All of us, the most, I know you're going to ask me later on, so I'm not going to tell you which is my favorite age, I'll answer that later on. But we always talk when we were younger, you know, in our childhood, it was a great best time. No worries, no responsibilities and stuff like that. So we all hanker for simpler time. I'm saying you make that sense of time today. Always be in the present. I'm not saying don't think about the future. Don't worry about it.
A lot of things here, Mr. Samar, about being a leader. Being a leader is not as easy as it's portrayed. Most of the time, we face imposter syndrome, self-doubts at some point of our careers. So, have you experienced self-doubt or felt like you don't belong to this role or this industry or this career? And if it is so, then how did you address this kind of feelings?
I think it's a fantastic question. Full credit to your team and you. I am double PhD in imposter syndrome. I have felt the imposter syndrome all my life. I have always felt that I'm not good enough. I have always believed that I'm a fake. I've always felt that I will be found out. And the only one I possibly got it from was Vijay Mallya. The other problem was that I have a personal problem with that if I can't respect you personally, then I can't respect you professionally.
You cannot do that.
Which is it is actually a weakness. Because I need to be able to respect you professionally. I may not like you. You may be a thoroughly unlikable human being, but maybe you have certain skill sets that need to be respected. So I have learned that only later in my life. The second thing was, Devrina, that I reached the head office very early in my life. Within 5 years of working, I was moved into the head office, and after that, I've been in the head office in national positions for like 30 years, or let's say I worked for 30 years, and I have 5 years as a consultant. So in those 30 years, I was in the region only for 5 years. After that, for the last 25 years, I've been in the head office.
Okay.
Now, the benefit of that is I have become very good at seeing the big picture, leading big teams, making instantly realizing what will happen, and being able to correct people's work because I've done that a lot. So being a national leader, etc., comes very, very easily and very naturally to me. I've always felt that if I had 10, 15 years in the region or in a smaller market and then become a leader, then maybe my ability to do things, nitty-gritties would be better. So let me give an example. If you come to me with a half-baked cake, I can tell you, put some nice icing on it, put some fruits on it, decorate it this way. But can I bake a cake from scratch? I thought I couldn't. Now what has happened is my work as a consultant has forced me to confront that situation for client after client. And I have done things from scratch for the last 5 years. And I have done better than I ever thought I would, because I have learned something in the last 30 years as well. So it has literally taken me these 5 years of being a consultant to lose my imposter syndrome. So yes, the short answer is that I've had imposter syndrome all my life. One other thing I want to tell you is, I keep telling people that we all hate ourselves. We all feel we're not good enough. Here's the thing, other people respect you much more than you respect yourself. Bill Gates always said that if you're the smartest person in the room, leave the room. Be in a room where you can learn other things.
There is scope of growth.
Absolutely. And being a sports person, you don't stop. I mean, Virat Kohli doesn't hit a 4 and say, "Dekho, maine kitna acha chauka mara." Yeah, sab log photo lo na meri. He doesn't do that.
Yeah.
He said, "Abhi to mujhe aur run banana hai, 100 banane hai. Let me help my team win the game."
And after that, they have to perform in another.
Absolutely. Next day, you're back to zero again. What I've learned in life is we spend our lives worrying about what other people think of us. To tell you the truth, other people don't think of us.
They don't have time to think about
Because they're too busy thinking about themselves, and they're too busy thinking what others are thinking about them, which is a ridiculous position to be in.
Let's talk about about little on your experience. Often these memorable encounters, these are unexpected. Okay, so can you recall a time when you met somebody unexpectedly and they turned out to be a source of inspiration or guidance in your life?
I mean, there are many, many such events. I've been very fortunate to have met the best and more greatest sports people in the world. I've learned a lot from them. I've learned a lot from some of the most famous business people. I've met prime ministers and presidents and politicians and everyone. So my advice to you is, don't worry about it. It'll all work out, and learn to say no to jobs and assignments that you feel are not either paying you what you deserve, or those you don't want to work with promoters like that they don't be very strict people, or that the work doesn't excite you. Do only work that makes an impact. So that made a big difference to me, simply because he had already been through my life stage. Like I go to the gym, for instance, and the gym trainer is like 25 years old. What does he know about my body? Of a foreign brand that everybody believes is Indian, and I think that they've done an outstanding job as Amazon.
Okay, yes.
When the guy calls you up and says, "Hello sir, calling from Amazon," he'll say, he wants Amazon, he'll say, "Calling from Amazon." Even the guy who's working for Amazon doesn't believe it's a foreign brand.
Okay.
And look at the communication, they say, "Apne sapno ki dukaan." They are apni dukaan. All the models are Indian. All the models are Indian. The music is Indian. Only the last 4 or 5 years, iPhone has started doing that as well. On the other hand, there are companies that will show foreign models, foreign communication, and they will never become big in India. So, Heineken, a brand that I work with, Rolex watches, Louis Vuitton, Johnnie Walker. Fine, that's they say, one world, one Heineken. But everybody doesn't understand and everybody doesn't relate to it.
Yeah.
So, a very funny thing I saw. So I don't know whether Jaren can corroborate that. I haven't been to Kerala for at least 3 or 4 years. But when I went there last, I went to Cochin and I went to Thiruvananthapuram and a couple of other places, Trivandrum and a couple of other places. And I saw these big hoardings for silk sarees, Kanjivaram, Pochampalli, etc. All foreign models, all blonde hair. I don't know whether that is still there.
Yes.
It's still there. Now, how do you explain that? The only way you can explain it that there is a desire for fair skin, and maybe it has to do with that going to the Gulf. But only if you go to Kerala can you understand it. But all the jewelry ads will have Indian women because jewelry is an Indian thing. I don't know why. That's specific to Kerala, right? So just because you are foreign, you will not succeed in India. And this whole fast food that McDonald's and Domino's have brought in, our fast food is Sukh and Shanti Sagar. You have Nilanjan Shetty here, he probably owns some 10 restaurants in Bangalore, or his family does. All the Shetties, etc., the kind of service, the kind of hygiene, the kind of pricing and the quality of the food you get, McDonald's, Domino's can never beat it, ever. They cannot come close. So, 2 more things to succeed in India. You have to, especially today, you have to be authentic, you have to be relatable, you have to be down to earth, right? You need to be real. Today's generation does not trust advertising. They don't trust brands. They don't trust CEOs and people like me. They don't even trust ratings anymore. They don't trust testimonials because half of them are all bots and robots. You know who they trust? They trust their peers. They trust each other. So they would talk to their friends.
They need to experience.
So how does a brand make that experience happen? So Devrina, if Nilanjan trusts Devrina, and I want to send some messaging to Nilanjan, how can I make sure that Nilanjan asks Devrina about this? First of all, I need to know that Nilanjan trusts Devrina, which means violating his privacy and your privacy. And that's happening today. You have sold everyone. Right now, if Joe Biden, if he wants, he can see us if he wants. American satellites can read your car number plate. They're not interested in us, that's a different thing. So, you need to customize it. And one last thing is a lot of brands today feel that I need to have a purpose. I need to be woke. That is complete nonsense. Because a brand has no purpose beyond the product and good and services that it sells. And let me give you some good examples. Some of these kids will remember about the Kendall Jenner ad, the Pepsi ad with Kendall Jenner, where these 2 groups of people are fighting and Kendall Jenner comes in the middle and gives them all a Pepsi and they're all very happy and they celebrate with each other. Pepsi got major backlash globally against that, saying you're trivializing matters of national identity and conflict and years of suffering and struggle, and you think if you drink a Pepsi, all the world's problems will go away. They had to remove that ad and they had to apologize. So any of you who get into marketing, never overpromise, never deliver or pretend to deliver more than what your brand stands for. So just to sum up, you need to solve a real human pain or real perceived human pain point. There is no one solution for India. We're a highly diverse country. We think and speak in vernacular. We read and write in English. We are aspirational, optimistic, traditional yet modern. We are forward-looking, and there are many Indias. Just because you're a foreign brand, you will not succeed. You have to Indianize your offering. You have to be authentic, relatable, and don't take up woke courses unless they are very closely aligned to you.
What an incredible conversation it was.
Thanks to Mr. Samar Singh Shekhawat for his time, his wisdom, and sharing such fascinating behind the scenes stories with us. I have enjoyed this conversation thoroughly, and if you have enjoyed this conversation as much as I did, don't forget to hit the like button, share it with your friends, and most important, subscribe it for more such captivating interviews with industry leaders. Devleena signing off. See you in the next episode.